Now, of course, it is time for this week's difficult conversation. November is National Diabetes Awareness Month, and almost 5 million people in the UK suffer with the condition. Now, it occurs when people's blood sugar levels are too high, and this can damage the eyes, the kidneys and the heart. After suffering with diabetes for 20 years, Marvin Isley passed away from complications with his condition in 2010. Joining me today to discuss Marvin's life and, of course, their own careers are music legends Ronald and Ernie Isley. Now, Ronald formed the award-winning R&B group, the Isley Brothers, in the 50s, and his brother Ernie later joined the group. Together, they took the music world by storm. Now, the group are best known for their breakout hit single, Shout, and have won 2 Grammys, as well as accumulating 28 platinum albums. And just this year, the Isley Brothers collaborated with Beyonce and reached #1 in the States. So to raise awareness, I'm joined now by Ronald and Ernie Isley. Thank you so much. I cannot believe that we are in presence of legends. My goodness. Wow. I've been listening to your music from the beginning, from the start. Obviously, I wasn't born in the 50s, obviously, but I've been listening to it pretty much from the 70s and on. So before we get stuck into the music, talk to me a little bit about your younger brother, Marvin, because he was a real integral part of the band. What was he like? And talk me through the early years of you becoming a band.
Marvin had a great sense of humor. He could write lyrics real fast. I know he did the lyrics to Groove With You in about 10 minutes. And it was always a great deal of fun to be on stage as brothers performing different songs from our catalog, including Shout.
Now, of course,
I think he was one of the nicest brothers. He was one of the friendliest, nicest brothers that we had. Baby brother.
Now, you know, for what he went through, because I understand that he went through quite a lot with diabetes, and there was a quote that he said that if he had spent sort of focused more, as he did with his music, towards the diabetes, that he wouldn't have had to go through what he went through. Can you talk us through some of the things that he had to go through because of his condition?
Well, diabetes is a disease that takes no prisoners ultimately. And initially, it can start off where you might lose a toe, Eventually, with Marvin, it got to where he lost both legs just below the knee. And, you have all this dialysis and things you have to deal with in order to, to stay alive. And depending upon the state of diabetes, you'll have a limited time with that. And it's just, in the end, oh my God, it's a real negative, heartbreaking experience for that to occur.
I want to ask you then, so of course he sadly passed away. Now, you've obviously been through a lot of, your music career spanned such a long period. I mean, it's been, how many years? It's been, 70 years your music has been around. Yeah.
To the present day.
Yeah.
With Make Me Say It Again, Girl, which has been #1 on the R&B charts 5 consecutive weeks and counting.
Should we get a sneaky peek of your new track? Should we have a listen to it? Let's play it. Let's have a listen.
Make me say it again, girl. Oh, make me say it again, boy. Make me say it again, girl.
Absolutely beautiful. Now, you have obviously, there's Beyonce's voice on that. You've worked with some huge stars. Obviously, you are big stars yourselves. Talk to me about what it was like working with Beyonce or collaborating for this particular track.
Oh, we work with 2 Chainz, and we work with the rappers, the brothers rappers, Quavo and Takeoff. And we work with Snoop Dogg, and we work with Rick Ross, and we work with Earth, Wind, and Fire, Philip Bailey and El DeBarge, and we work with Trey Songz.
And of course, we work with Beyonce
Yes.
for Make Me Say It Again, Girl, the duet.
Now, the track is beautiful. Her voice is amazing. The fact that you guys have all collaborated together. As someone who is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and seemingly has it all, what is the next thing you guys could be doing? Because this is massive. You've conquered everything.
You're about right about that.
Working on a tour to come to the UK sometime in 2023.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to that.
And do you plan to release more albums or some more singles?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, well, we'll look forward to all
The
of that.
next one will be something called The Plug.
Wow. Now, I want to ask you, throughout your career, is there one moment that stood out that you could, is there one moment that you remember that which has literally been the biggest moment of your life?
Well, I remember writing the song Shout in 1959 on the stage of Philadelphia, and I'll never forget that. And Ernie, I guess he could tell you his memories himself, but
Well, there's tons of memories. There's, first of all, watching my older brothers perform in a theater, and the lights go out, and they take over the show. They're a very hard act to follow. Folks going crazy, and that was with Shout and Twist and Shout. And eventually, This a Heart of Mine was a part of that performance. It's Your Thing was a part of it. That Lady, Fight Power, Between the Sheets, up into and including what's going on right now would Make Me Say It Again, Girl, being number 1 for 5 consecutive weeks and counting. There's not another group or artist that has had that kind of a chart record from the 50s through every decade, and to have a number 1 record now, that's totally unprecedented. Thank all our music fans for that support.
Well, it's an absolute exclusive here on GBNews. I can't believe I've got the pleasure of actually playing a little clip of it to our viewers and listeners to hear how incredible it is. One of my favourite songs that you did sing. I don't think you wrote this one though. Summer Breeze. That is literally one of my favourite songs. You sang that, didn't you? You did sing it. Did you guys write it?
Yes, we did.
Yeah, that's a beautiful song. Can you do
What about This a Heart of Mine? We did with Rod Stewart.
Yeah, and Rod is an absolute legend. Who would you say is your? I know obviously they might watch and might see this, but who would you say is one of the best people that you've ever met in the industry?
Wow, there's so many great people. A good friend, Johnny Mathis, is a good friend of mine. But everybody, Aretha Franklin. You can go on and on. Sam Cooke, Jackie Wilson. Even today, people like Earth, Wind, and Fire and Santana. And I'll probably leave out some hundreds of names. We're all friends with everybody in the industry.
And out of your
We
song,
met. When we were in England, our keyboard player was Elton John. We met Mick Jagger and Paul McCartney and all of the fellas there over there in England. Yes.
out of your songs, then.
Jimi Hendrix. I don't want to leave nobody out. you know.
Out of your songs, then, what's your favourite one of all time?
Ernie,
Say that again.
Out of all your songs, because you've written a load, you sang a load as well, which one is your favourite?
Oh, songs.
Yeah.
That's a good question. I could say, Make Me Say It Again, Girl. I could say, At Your Best You Are Love. I could say, Harvest for the World.
Fight the Power.
Fight the Power.
Oh.
Voice to Atlantis.
Who's that lady?
Yeah, Who's That Lady? There's, our catalog is quite extensive, and of course, because of the longevity, it stretches.
It's Your Thing.
Yeah, It's Your Thing is in there too.
God.
So,
Yeah.
Wow. So, like the songs you're saying, I think, oh, yeah, that one and that one and that one. Amazing. Listen, it's such a pleasure meeting you both. My dad will be so jealous because he used to dance. He used to put his albums on and he used to dance around as though he thought he was the best thing on earth. He looked ridiculous, but he danced to all your music and I grew up listening to all of it. It is an absolute honour to meet you both. That's Ronald Isley and Ernie Isley. Let's play them out with their brand new track. If you could just introduce it, we'll play a little bit of it now.
the track, brand new.
Yeah.
What would that be? The plug?
Yeah.
Make Me Say It Again?
Yeah.
Yeah, Make Me Say It Again, Girl, with Beyonce as a duet.
Make me say it again, girl. Make me say it again, boy. Make me say it again, girl.
Ronald and Ernie Isley, thank you so much. It's out now. Make Me Say It Again. Thank you so much. It's lovely to talk to you. And of course, the Isley Brothers. This was Difficult Conversations. Of course, it is National Diabetes Awareness Month.